and welcome to Mic'd Up. I'm your host, Jeff.
And I'm Corey. We have a great show for you today. Mad Vlad is our special guest in studio today.
That's right. He's going to be joining us shortly for 2 performances and an exclusive interview. First, let's learn a little bit more about him.
Mad Vlad Bojico is a Toronto musician who sings lead vocals and rhythm guitar for his punk rock band Wasting Time. They're a 4-piece band with catchy riffs and kick-ass melodies. Their full-length album, Tales from the Morgue, came out in May of 2018, and they also have 2 EPs, Bum Life and City of Nowhere, and these can all be found on Spotify, Bandcamp, and of course iTunes. They're back in the studio in 2019 to work on a new 4-song EP.
Now, with Lost Along the Way, here's Mad Vlad.
Ready, man?
I wasn't alone when you were freaking out when the quicksand was neck high. You could feel your bones turn to dust. There's a monument in lies in the darkest recess of your mind. Your hopes have been all chained. There's a light, a will to give out. There's a pile of remains. Go through your own palace where there's effort, there's no shame. Let the spiders crawl inside your soul. Let the crows pick at your brains. Take control and straight for the storm like there is no other way. Only then and only then you can feel what isn't there. We're the trapdoor to the flames. We're the blue sky full of sparrows floating in the astral planes. We're your breath, we are all that you have left. And somehow we all got lost along the way. We're the trapdoor to the flames. We're the blue sky full of sparrows floating in the astral planes. We're your heartbeat, we're your breath. We are all that you have left. And somehow we all got lost along the way. We're your heartbeat, we're your breath. We are all that you have left. And somehow we all got lost along the way.
That was amazing.
That was absolutely fantastic. Make sure you stay tuned in after the break for an exclusive interview. We'll be right back.
Are you a victim of bad grades you think you don't deserve? Is your GPA suffering? Feel your future slipping away? Hi, I'm Jeremy Socksbutton, and I'm offering my services to helpless students like you. I have dozens of hours of experience in a related field. And with a few industry trade secrets, we can flip your 56 into a 59. It's that simple. Don't believe me? Listen to these satisfied clients.
After one brief meeting, he brought me up from a 35 to a 41. That's almost a pass. Thanks, Jeremy. Socksbutton.
I was thinking about calling him, then I didn't. But then I did. I think he helped. I don't know, I don't really check my grades that often.
So call now and book a consultation with me to make your grades objectively better. Please.
Welcome back. Now with us in the studio, we've got Mad Vlad and Mike. Welcome so much for being on.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. So I just kind of want to ask, first off, how in the Dians did you get the name Mad Vlad?
I probably got that when I was in school. I used to have a bit of a temper problem, and I used to do a lot of stupid things, so it kind of naturally progressed to that, you know.
Yeah, you still do all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you kind of label yourselves as kind of this band that you hate to love. Is that very reminiscent of the whole Mad Vlad thing, or is that just kind of a group dynamic?
I think that's mostly the guys in my band. They like to dislike me because I force them to do a lot of stuff that they don't want to. So, and that kind of projects when we go on stage. You know what I mean? I'm very we like to make sure that everyone's always having a good time, but at the same time, you can't have a good time if you're not prepared. And I'm very, very meticulous with a lot of stuff that we do. So, you know, you hate it, but you love it at the same time.
So I did want to build off that a little bit, because like when I was listening to your songs in preparation for this interview, and they just emit just a really like nice energy to it. What's like your inspirations behind that sound?
I think it comes together. We all kind of write together. I'll come up with the general idea, and then I'll bring it to the guys, and then we'll add our own flavors into it. But I mean, I grew up listening to Green Day and Offspring, and then I got into like Blink-182 and Alkaline Trio and Strung Out, and have all those flavors in the pot, and you know, and then Mike comes up with his own bass lines from bands that he likes. So it kind of makes our influences evident in there, but then on top of that, makes our own kind of you know. Stuff, yeah.
So you take a lot of inspiration from a lot of punk and alternative bands then?
Yeah, that, or documentaries, books. I mean, I wrote songs about like watching serial killer documentaries.
Really?
And stuff like that, yeah. So anywhere and everywhere you can find inspiration. So
Ever write a song about Making a Murderer, the Netflix series?
No, but I wrote one about Jeffrey Dahmer. So.
Oh boy. Now, speaking about punk music, I know that there was a big increase of it, say like, 15, 20 years ago. Do you find that there might be a decline in punk music, or do you think that it's back on the rise?
Back on the rise, for sure. There's waves of it, you know, with anything, but definitely coming back up right now. I mean, I've been going to a lot of punk shows lately with Mike as well. I mean, like, there was Bayside was just in Toronto yesterday. Didn't go to that, but I definitely wanted to, and I mean, we're always going to see other bands. There's great bands in Toronto right now too, like Hang Time. We played a show with them actually on Tuesday. Court Jester. There's just constantly new bands that are coming up, and you know, punk is definitely very evident. It was on Tuesday, and it was pretty full house at the Bovine.
What kind of people go to those shows?
I think everyone and anyone.
Yeah, nice.
And if you even like talk to anyone kind of right now, you know, people who are listening to like rap or whatever, if you play any Blink-182 song or just anything, people are going to know it. So definitely never left.
Nice.
So you just recently released a new album, a full album, as opposed to an EP. What is the difference in creating a full album as opposed to an EP? Because I know that you've got another one coming up soon that you're going to be working on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually all the songs for the new EP are done. We're just going to be going in the studio in January to start recording that stuff. The full-length album we did last year, I had a collection of songs that I had written over a course of time. It was kind of weird because before I started playing music again, I played in a band in like 2008 with Dave and the Famous Monsters, and then that broke up and disbanded. And we all kind of went our separate ways. I started doing security, and then I started doing kickboxing and all that stuff, and ended up getting a concussion, and I had nothing else to do. I picked up the guitar and just had all these ideas and songs, and just started forming together, and then went and did an acoustic show by myself, and I met Mike, and you know, the rest was kind of history.
Yeah. I want to ask you, how long have you actually been playing with him?
It's been about like almost 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years now?
Year and a half.
And so kind of how did you get your start into making music?
Since I was like 18, just picked up the bass, and I played in various bands before I met Vlad. Enjoying wasting time, but yeah, I've just been doing it since I was like 18. It's fun. I love it.
One thing I wanted to ask, because I was looking over your discography, and I really like the album artwork for both your full-length album and your EP. You sort of have like a recurring character in like the art. It's like this skull dude with the mask. Is there a story behind that, or?
Yeah, I came up with, there's a guy named Michael Larson who does all my artwork for me. We found him on DeviantArt. He does great stuff. But I came up with, you kind of want to have like a character, or you kind of want to have like a theme with anything that you do. And, you know, I came up with like this little death guy, you know, which has been done a million times, but I kind of put my own spin on it. And then I felt like he needed to have like a little tag team partner, so I came up with Molly Mallet. I mean, definitely didn't look like that when I drew it initially. They're stick figures and they look absolutely terrible. Maybe I can post it up online so people can have a good laugh. So yeah, I started reaching out to him and then told him my ideas, and I felt like, you know, you kind of brand yourself in that way, and then when you see that, then you know that that's the band. And if you're just always doing the same stuff as everyone else, it's kind of difficult to stand out.
So would you say that that's kind of your defining thing that sets you apart from, say, other punk bands in the area, or do you have another item that kind of pushes you forward?
Definitely try to stand out with the songwriting, because I mean, you can come up with characters and you can come up with art and you can do all the other stuff, and that's great, but if the music's not there, then it's never gonna really fly. So first and foremost, I try and make sure that I want to listen to the songs. So if I don't like them, then, you know, it doesn't really matter, you know, about the characters and stuff. All that stuff is kind of on the side, and you know, you want to make sure that when the songs are there, you also have good merch, right? 'Cause people will represent it.
Yeah. So you've just recorded this album, and you're still going to be working on it in January, you said. And I think we have a giveaway that we're probably going to do today at some point, or mention it. So if you want to learn more about that, you can stay tuned, and they'll be back with us again for a second performance after the break here on Mic'd Up.
A secret admirer. When Tim Horton rolled up the rim and lost, he realized he could make millions off of unsuspecting college students, and a Canadian icon was born.
Welcome back to Mic'd Up. Now, as promised, we have a second performance here by Mad Vlad.
So this is a new song off our new EP that's coming out. It's called When It Rains. It goes like this. Ready?
Never been gone, didn't know what to say.
That was amazing. Thanks so much for coming up on the show.
Well, thanks for having us, guys.
So we do have a giveaway as well. You said that you were giving away 2 of your CDs.
Yeah.
And I believe how that contest is going to work is we're going to point people towards your Instagram page. And it's the first 2 people who comment about you being on the show, I believe, and they'll be entered to win one of these 2 CDs we're giving out. So that's sweet. So
Yeah,
if you want to plug your social media.
Absolutely, it's Wasting Time Music. It's Wasting Time Music, and then we're it's called the CD's called Tales from the Morgue. So yeah, comment on that. Let us know what you guys think, and we'll be handing that out. You can also check us out on our website, wastingtimemusic.com. And all our shows that are coming up, we're going to have a whole bunch of new ones coming up in January and the New Year's and stuff like that, yeah.
Awesome. All right, that's been our episode of Mic'd Up. I've been Jeff.
And I'm Corey. So
And
make sure to tune in next week.